Super Bowl party, I love finding things that I can make somewhat ahead of time and assemble right at the last minute, and also want to make it special at the same time. So I'm going to make lobster rolls. Being from New England, we certainly get access to live Maine lobsters, and this is one of my favorite ways to have lobster because you can make the mess beforehand, but when it comes time to eat it and serve it, it's much easier for everyone to enjoy it. So we're going to make, I have one of the quarter-pound lobsters that I've boiled, and I've went ahead and picked and removed the meat from them. I'll show you really quick how to do the tail. The trick is you just take it, bend it backwards, rip it, and then all you got to do is go to the other side and bend the tail backwards and peel that piece off. And then all you do is stick your finger in and it will slide right out. And that's it, you got your lobster tail. So you want to do all that, you want to chop all of this into small, sort of 1/4 inch bite-sized pieces, and then we're going to assemble it all in the bowl with the dressing, and we'll be ready to go. Alright, so I have my lobster all picked and cut up into nice bite-sized pieces. I have my tail over here and my knuckle here. I'll combine those two together so it's a little bit even in each batch. The other things that you're going to need for the recipe is you're going to want some finely chopped celery, some chives, some lemon zest, about a juice of a half a lemon, and I like a little shredded lettuce in the bottom of the bun. And then you're going to need New England style Frankfurter rolls. These will have the sides that are just right for heating in the butter, you'll see in a minute. So we start with that, and then to make our sauce you want about a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. And what you want to do is take the lemon juice and add it to that. And we want to make that mayonnaise just a little less thick, but not so runny that it's going to make the roll soggy, but you want to definitely soften that up. And then to that, we're going to add some celery. Put as much as you like, kind of eye it. I would say I put about a half a cup in there myself. And we're going to stir that all around with the lobster, and then I'm going to put some the fresh chive in. I'm going to save a little bit more on to layer over the top. I'm going to add my lemon zest. Now that I have the other things in there, I can look and see the consistency looks about right to me, so I don't think I need to add any more lemon juice. I think that's ready for the lobster. Now, the next step is we're going to soak this lobster in butter, and I'm going to use a finishing butter from Buttercraft Provisions, and this is their roasted garlic flavor. So I'm going to put this into roasted garlic butter, warm it up a little bit in the butter and toss it around so that there's a good coating of butter on this. And then we're going to toast these buns and also toast them in the garlic butter as well to finish off the dish. Alright, so over here I have my pan with the butter in it. I can go ahead and put my lobster in there and then stir it all up in the melted butter so that it coats nicely. And then we can bring it back and assemble it into our sandwiches. So here are our New England hot dog rolls that have been toasted in the toaster oven. So I open them up just a little bit so they can get a little toasted on, dried on the inside. And now the last step is you want to bring them over to skillet. And I'm going to go ahead and put some of that Buttercraft Provisions roasted garlic butter in the pan, and just as if you're making a grilled cheese, we're going to go ahead and melt that, and we'll put the buns right down into that butter, and we'll get them nice and brown on the outside and buttery at the same time. So give that a couple minutes on one side, flip it over, do the same thing on the other side. You should have a nice brown on the outside, and then we'll be able to finish up with the rolls. Alright, so you see now I got some brown on the outside. I've been soaking these in the butter and they're all ready to go, so we're going to bring them back over and assemble our final lobster roll. Now we're ready to stir the lobster in the dressing, and you see how there's quite a bit of water left over from sauteing the lobster in the butter, and so you want to use a slotted spoon. You want to leave as much of that in the pot as possible, and we're going to go ahead and scoop that over into our dressing. And then we'll give it a good final tossing and we should be ready to eat at that point. And so we're going to give this a tossing to get his mayonnaise sort of incorporated around. And you can see there's not a lot of mayonnaise on there. That's what we want. We want it to be mostly lobster with just a little bit of mayonnaise running through it. It helps bind it a little bit, bring all those other flavors into the fold. And I think we're ready to load up our lobster rolls. So we take our buns. I like to use a little lettuce. It's up to you. I like a little shredded lettuce on the bottom. Mine personally. Just the littlest bit. Give it a little bit of fresh, crunchy flavor, as does the celery. And then get our lobster and load it in there. Some restaurants like to load it pretty high, but I would rather have more sandwiches personally, so that it doesn't all come falling all over the place, because I like the bread and everything all together in one. And so there we have it. Lobster roll, perfect soap opera party they'll never forget. So there we have another batch coming out. And we're going to go ahead and serve this up with our homemade potato chips. You can see in my other video to see how to make homemade potato chips. Quite easy to do, and really just ups the experience that much more.